our next speaker, Miss Huilin Shi, who is the editor of Railfreight in the Netherlands. And she will speak to us, I suppose, from Amsterdam or maybe what?
Rotterdam.
Rotterdam. Okay, then very good. You're most welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Can I share my screen? I have made some
yes.
slides. Sorry. I don't really know how it works. Oh, here. Can you see it?
Yes.
So, first of all, I really appreciate this opportunity to present in this webinar. I'm Huilin Shi, the editor of Railfreign.cn. I'll introduce this a little bit later. My presentation will be in a more practical perspective. I will talk about Xinjiang's role as an important logistics hub on New Silk Road from my previous research. So before my presentation, I would like to introduce a bit about my company and the publication I'm working for. So my company, ProMedia Publishing Group, is a leading publisher in the field of transportation and logistics in Europe. And we write qualified news, updated reports, and conduct interviews with industrial experts. And we also do online broadcasting and organize conferences to make better communication in different parts. And Railfreign.cn is a Chinese publication. So we mostly focus on the international rail freight, especially China-Europe Express. I don't know if you have ever heard about this emerging train service. Actually, Xinjiang is a very significant part of this service. I will elaborate it later. So our goal is to try to bridge the information gap between these two continents, also involving the countries in Central Asia, because there is long distance and also language barriers. And now we have gathered a great number of audience. So we are trying to make the New Silk Road more and more well known to the public. So under the Belt and Road Initiative, Xinjiang's target is to become the core area of Silk Road economic in aspects like medical and health, cultural, and also manufacturing, logistics, and also trading. So as it's connecting, its role of now the role of Xinjiang is connecting inland Chinese cities in the western part and the central part of China to connect them with Central Asia, also even further to Europe. And leveraged on this logistics position, it's very potentially to become a new training center along this New Silk Road. And why is Xinjiang so important for logistics? So I would start with its unique location, and our previous speakers also mentioned a little bit about it. So I listed the major three factors. First, it has the longest land boundaries. It's over 5,000 kilometers, almost a quarter of the whole boundary of China. And it has 8 neighboring countries. Also, because of this unique location, there are 17 border ports, which is authorized by the Chinese government, which means this via these ports, you can freely do business with the neighboring countries. And these ports including 2 for air transport and 15 for land transport. So as you can see a picture here, it shows where those ports are located, and also 3 main corridors through Xinjiang. And I would like to share a little bit about the latest development of Xinjiang's transportation. This statistics is that I've collected from the 13th 5-year plan of China, of Xinjiang. And as you can see, for road transportation, it has achieved a lot of improvements, as I highlighted here, and also to better cooperate with other countries. Xinjiang has signed an agreement with 9 countries nearby and launched over 50 international roads. And also you can see it has handled a great volume of cargo. It's billions of tons of cargo within Xinjiang and also via Xinjiang to other countries. And also air transportation is also under constructions. So I showed a picture here. It's probably not the latest one, but you can have an overview of how the roads are organized in Xinjiang. So you can see in the north is more populated than the south. So, and at the border, there are more traffic going through. So, and these 2 important modalities of transportation can actually partly approve the importance of Xinjiang as a regional logistics parks. But what really refuels its great logistics potential is actually the emerging train services, which is called China-Europe Express. So this train was first launched a decade ago, which is in 2011. The first train was departed from the Chinese city of Chongqing in the middle China, in the central China via Xinjiang and all the way to Germany. And as you can see, until now, this train has connected over 23 countries in 169 European cities. And now there are 29 Chinese provinces are launching regular trains all the way to Central Asia and even Western Europe. So here are the latest statistics of the number of trains that are launched annually. So you can see at the beginning it grows steadily, but recently due to COVID-19, air transport and cross-continental air transport and sea transport are facing a lot of hurdles. So this train service is really booming now. You can see in 2020 we have over 12,000 trains departed from China, between China and Europe. And for the first half of this year, there are already over 9,000 of trains departed. So it's foreseeable that maybe at the end of this year, the number can reach even higher, like over 20,000. So what is Xinjiang's role in this very important train services? So I will dive a little bit more into this service. As we can see, there are 3 main roads of this train service. The west road is via Alashankou and Horgos, which are located in the border of Xinjiang and Kazakhstan. And the middle road is via Erlian and Manzhouli, and the east road is via Suifenhe. And I showed some graphics which shows how many trains were handled on those land ports. So you can see from the pies in the darker blue, this is Alashankou and this is Horgos. And in 2020, there are over half of the train being handled in these 2 ports. And for the first half of this year, it's even higher. It has reached the percentage of 66.5. So that is really impressive, which means this train service is heavily rely on the operation at the border of Xinjiang and Kazakhstan. So people might wonder that if the train it only bypass the province of Xinjiang. Why is it important? Actually, when it comes to railway, it's more complicated than other modalities of transportation. You don't only do like customs clearance, you do more procedures. So I will explain what is exactly happening at the border and how Xinjiang is functioning to boost this service. So due to the different gauge in CIS countries, including Kazakhstan and China. So if the train once the train reaches the border, the cargo need to be reloaded to another train with different wagons and different locomotives, even with the local train drivers. And also because wider gauge can allow a train to carry heavier cargo than the normal one. So, and I listed some numbers here, as you can see more clearly. So for the train coming back from Europe to China, it also has to maybe separate one train into two. I would like to explain more about these two major land ports I have mentioned previously. Alashanko, which is corresponding to the Kazakhstan city of Dotik. And you can see from the right, the upper picture showing the terrain situation of Alashanko is actually between two mountains. So the weather can be very windy and dusty. So this port is more suitable for handling heavy cargo, such as mineral-based construction materials and coke, steel, and other industry products. And the other port, as you can see at the lower part of the picture, it's a very flat area, so it's more suitable for textile and clothing, also maybe cotton from Xinjiang. So these ports are cooperating with each other very well. And you can imagine these two ports has to handle over 12,000 or 20,000 of trains per year. So you can see how much efforts people has put to improve these ports. And in 2020, there is actually a lot of improvement after and complementing those improvement projects. So the handling capacity in these two ports increasing rapidly. So besides being a transiting port for cargoes between China and Europe, Xinjiang is actually launching its own train to carry its local products all the way to Europe. So these pictures are taken from my previous experience in Xinjiang. This is the city of Forgos. And because of this train service, these cities really become more energetic and more diverse. And you can see from the right picture, this is a collection of products from all over the world, from Europe, from Central Asia. So Xinjiang is really becoming a trading center. I mean, back to 20 years ago, you cannot imagine that I can buy European products in Xinjiang, because this is such a province that is limited by its location inland. So I really personally impressed at the development of Xinjiang, and I welcome all the questions and remarks from your side. I hope I have contributed a little bit to this conversation, and this is my contact. If you have any related news or messages that you want to deliver, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think your ideas have shown that the basis of cooperation between Xinjiang, China, and Europe is for the taking for anyone who is sensible enough to say, let's work together. There is absolutely no objective reason why that should not be going on, and or more than it presently is. And as you pointed out, the development of these freight lines, rail lines, also establishes cities and development along the route of these transportation corridors, which has always been the case, even going back to the United States experience with the Transcontinental Railroad, and as is going on. So this is something we have to continue to work in educating the European and Swedish public to what great opportunities there actually are. Thank you so much for that.